Just waiting. I know the YouTube hasn't caught up with this yet. Not quite yet. I see. There it is. I think so. 3 seconds in, it says excellent connection. I see that there's about 6 people, it says, that are in here, but we can't quite see it yet. So let me see here. Um, Everything looks dark. Why is everything dark here? Okay, so we're gonna start those games. I see myself here, but I don't see myself on YouTube. Is something wrong? Okay, am I tripping? There we go. Okay. All right. I was just checking, making sure that everything is okay. So it seems like I sound good because I just heard myself through my own speaker. Anyway, how are you guys doing? Appreciate you guys all being here. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man. Welcome to my channel, Modern Renaissance Man. If you are someone that is new to the channel, I want to say welcome. Make sure you check my channel out, then subscribe to the channel. But if you have been watching my channel for the past week or so and you subscribe to my channel, double check to make sure that you are still subscribed to my channel, because YouTube is unsubscribing people from the channel. And do not forget, ladies and gents, if y'all like the material that I put out, make sure you hit that like button so that this video can be circulated within the YouTube algorithm. All right. Appreciate it. So a couple things I want to talk about, and I know a lot of y'all wanted me to really get into this. But I am going to hit on it a little bit. What am I talking about? You guys all heard what was going on with the Joe Biden, them declaring this to be, National whatever Transgender Visibility Day. And a lot of folks, even fellow ministers, wanted to know what my take is on it. I'm probably going to get to that before I get into the meat of what I'm going to be talking about today. So with that all being said, let me see who is all in here right now. Let me see something. I got to put a few things up here too, making sure I can see you guys all here. There we go. Got to put a few little advertisements up here, like banners and all that good stuff like that, so y'all can remember to do that. Don't forget to subscribe and click that like button as you see right there. And I'm about to have this ticker go across for those of you that want to know how you can send things in through Cash App. There it is right there. Cash App, Modern Renaissance Man. All right. All right. So as y'all can see, I'm back in my studio area temporarily. Now I'm going to be traveling again, and I can see everybody in here. Boom. There we go. Look at that. Bam. Boom. I'm glad I can do that so y'all can see y'all comments up here. You're darn right he's risen. There we go. Appreciate y'all all chiming in, saying happy Easter and all that good stuff. Y'all can see y'all names up here as I'm scrolling through here. Just making sure everybody can get seen in here, seeing that I can see you. We all can see y'all in here. Everybody that's putting messages in here saying hello and all that great stuff. Everybody's able to see you guys that are chiming in right now. Might go a little fast, but you might be able to catch your name. Blink, don't blink, don't blink. You might miss your name. Don't blink, don't blink. Appreciate that. Severino, appreciate that. Double Brewski, long time no here, my friend. Mama Carol is in the house. BK Campbell. See all y'all names in here. Michael B. He is risen. Hallelujah. He says Trisha Whistler. Woo, y'all are flying in here now. Here we go. I'm just trying to make sure all y'all can kind of see y'all names again. Don't blink. Your message might go by real fast. Communist state of Illinois. Yeah, I know. I have a residence there. All right. Oh, the CD said I blinked. There you go. So we are about a few minutes in here, folks, and I appreciate all of you guys in here saying happy Easter and all that good stuff. Yeah, you got the peanut butter. Really do appreciate it. So what I was saying, I'll keep on clicking on this stuff right here a little bit while I'm getting ready to get into the meat of this a little bit. So what I was saying is that everybody knew, and y'all heard about the fact that President Biden, I guess, declared that today is National Transgender Visibility Day. And he said all this stuff about he see them, he hears them, he blah, 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 blah. I had a lot of people that reached out to me and say, I know, Ty, you're going to go into this and rip them apart, because how blasphemous is it that they would do this on Easter, the day of the Lord's resurrection, da, 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 da. I know y'all wanted me to make a video about that, but I decided not to, because I'm getting ready to tell you guys why. Today is a day. I'm talking about March the 31st, they had already declared that particular day, March 31st, as being this transgender day, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? For the first time, at least I can say that I remember in my life, Easter was always in April. I have no idea how it fell in March. I know y'all time and it's time that February had more days, blah, 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 blah. The point is, usually Easter is always in April. It seems to me, since I was a kid, I don't remember it ever being in March. So I just want to throw that out there. And now, with that all being said, Double Brucey says, happy trans day. So with that being said, what I want to say to you guys is this. I don't care what they do and what day they try to do. I'm keeping it honest. I look, my fellow brothers and sisters in Christ. I know that collectively and constructively, social constructively, we declared that this day, or Easter, we declared that to be the day that he is risen. Easter falls on a whole lot of different days, and it has fallen on a whole lot of different numbers within those days. Easter has been on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th of April. It's been all over the place. So the fact that we know that, what I would advise people to do and what I did not do, I'm not about to give into that. I can't believe they declared this on Easter. They declared it on March 31st. And honestly, who cares? I don't care if today was the day of Satan. Want to know why? Because it does not trump what Jesus did. Period. We know that he died, came back 3 days later, rose again from the dead. The ones that believe in Christ, that's what our belief says. I don't care what day they want to throw on that. It is not going to tarnish what he did. Want to tell you why? See, here's the deal. The fact that we are even celebrating, it lets you know the impact of what he did that's gone on for thousands of years, right? So there's no way this little bitty, oh, see us. We want to be heard. We want to be visible. We want this to be a day for us. That's not going to trump what Jesus did. So why are we going to sit there and act like and let it? I'm not going to let it. We celebrate what he did. If they want to celebrate what they do outside of Christ, I don't care. I'm not about to get involved in what they do, and I don't care about what they do, because guess what? Today, there are people out there that don't believe in Christianity. There are people out there that are Muslim. There are people out there that are Hindi, people that are Buddhist. They're not celebrating this day. They might be celebrating something else on this day. I don't know. My point is, I'm not going to get pulled into and be like, look how they just spitting on all these Christians. Look what they did. They didn't do a thing. They did. Look, the impact of what Jesus did those 1,000 years ago is still being felt today. I don't care what day they want to give trans. It's not going to do anything to change nobody's lives, did it? Follow me. What Jesus did changed lives. What Jesus continues to do, change lives. Having a transgender visibility day is not going to change anybody's life. Yes, it does. It gives us credence. It lets us be heard. It don't change our life. What is it? What is it going to do for y'all? Y'all, look, I'm just giving it to y'all. Trans people. Having Joe Biden declare this and put it all on paper and put it in the wild, it didn't do nothing for y'all. It didn't change y'all lives. Y'all not going to come out of this changed. You're not going to come out of this a better person. You know what I'm saying? What is it going to do? 1,000 years from now, nobody's going to care about Trans Visibility Day. 1,000 years from now, while Earth is still going on, people still are going to be given homage and honor to what Jesus did, which is why we celebrate Easter. So what Jesus has done can never be trumped. What God does can never be trumped by anything they do. That's why they fight so hard to try to put this stuff in your face to irritate us. The biggest enemy of the agenda by those that are elite and globalists and the entities that they work with is God, period, and Christianity, period. We secretly replaced our regular eggs with xenomorph eggs, dipped in food coloring, and hid them in the tall grass. Let's see who notices first. Oh, my God. So listen up, folks. What I want to let y'all know is this. Look at it for what it is. Look at it for what it is. A line has been drawn, and I don't understand why y'all getting upset. See, we all that are supposedly under Christ, we all have standards, right? We all know that there's supposed to be a distinct separation, which means there is a line drawn. On our side of those in Christ, we have our standards. I'm not talking about religious folks now. I'm talking about those that have a relationship with God. We have our standards. We have our our morals, we have our values, we have that book that we all abide by, right? That's our line. We're on our side. We preach it, we teach it, we instill it in our kids, we instill it in those around us that are affected by this. That's what we do. What Joe Biden and them are doing is nothing different, except they're doing it for the opposite. That's what they, y'all, listen. I don't go into Satanist church. You want to know why? I'm not trying to be a Satanist. I don't go into Luciferian churches and worships and whatever they do. You want to know why? I'm not trying to be a Luciferian. So the fact that we have something in our Constitution, folks, that's called a freedom of religion, there's going to be one side and there's going to be another side. There's going to be one that favors, there's going to be one that doesn't. So the fact that they're putting this out there in our face, I'm not going to get mad. Let the devil them do what they do. That's what they're going to do. Just like in a few more months when it comes back around to June, Pride Month. Let the ones who are evil do what they do. Don't go out there on their playground trying to preach and teach at these folks that's out there half naked in front of kids and gyrating and shaking and all. Everything is just hypersexualized. Don't go out there on their territory doing that. They are supposed to be doing that. They are not of God. So we should not surprise them. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm not doing that. I expect the devil to do what the devil does. And when he does it, I'm not going to act surprised. I'm just like, So I know that this is one of those things that a lot of people weren't here because I know y'all want me to come out with fire and brimstone. I can't believe them. No, I can believe them. Why would they do this on Easter? No, they just did this on March 31st. Easter just happened to be on March 31st as well. This is not no victory for them. This is a victory for us. It's a victory for us. Why? Because we get to remember what he did, what he died for, and the power of his resurrection. What they're doing here with this transgender stuff and they're putting it on this day. Oh, well, next year it's not going to be on. It's not going to be. I don't know. Matter of fact, if y'all got a calendar, you want to look ahead. It's not going to be on this day next year. So I don't care. Let them have it. It doesn't matter. All it's doing is pandering. Again, we have to think deeply into this. What he did back then is powerful enough to where his spirit is still changing, healing, breaking people of addiction, breaking people of all kinds of things till this day. What they're doing is bondage, plain and simple. All right. So that's my take on that. My minister friends want me to talk about that. Now y'all see what I'm talking about. That's why I'm like, I don't care. Because you know why? This day, y'all, what if Christmas, what if when Christmas comes around, right? What if Christmas come around, they call that the bisexual visibility day on December the 25th? What if they did that? What are we going to do? I can't believe they doing this on Christmas. I don't care. We know why we are doing it. See, on Easter, us that are in Christ, we know why we are celebrating it. Period. So I keep my focus on why I'm celebrating it, period. I don't put my focus on what they're doing. I don't care because I know that the one that I worship, the one that I follow, that's an ever-changing life for the better for me. But I do know, and we supposed to be smarter than them, superior more in thinking than them. And if I know that what they're doing on this day is going to lead to destruction, I'm just going to let them be. Let them fall at their own devices. That's it. All right. Got that on out the way. That's my warm up to the message here. Double Brewski said trans chickens can no longer lay eggs. Just saying. Appreciate you with the super chat right there. Okay. Now I'm getting ready to get into the meat of the subject here, ladies and gentlemen. As y'all can see, it says advocates sound the alarm after shuttering of House office promoting diversity is shut down. What am I talking about? Well, I'm about to show you guys what I am talking about. Okay. Here it is right here. Let me bring it up for y'all. All right. Making sure y'all can all see this. Make sure y'all do me a favor and hit that like button if you would, please, so that this video can be circulated within the YouTube algorithm. All right. Be sure to do that. Hit that like button, ladies and gents. So I'm going to bring that back up. Don't worry. It's not going anywhere. All right. As you can see right here, advocates sound the alarm after shuttering of House office promoting diversity. So what is this talking about? Well, we can ready to get into it because you know I like to hit on things like this. Look at them holding those signs. Advocates of diversity, equity, and inclusion programs are sounding the alarm after a key department on Capitol Hill was dissolved amid backlash to the movement. The House Office of Diversity and Inclusion was disbanded this week as part of the government spending bill passed earlier this month. The office's president, Sisha Joe Moon, told CNN it is the latest blow to the DEI movement, which has come under mounting criticism from Republicans over the past several years. Now, supporters of DEI are sounding the alarm, warning that the elimination of such programs and offices will roll back progress made when it comes to fighting discrimination in various areas of society. Quote, the elimination of the House Office of Diversity and Inclusion is a tremendous loss, not only to the U.S. House of Representatives, but for advancement of equity and opportunity in America overall, Rep. Joyce Beatty, Democrat of Ohio, said in a statement to The Hill. Beatty, the first ever chair of the Financial Service Committee subcommittee on diversity and inclusion, has been a strong proponent of DEI practices as limitations on the programs have spread throughout the country. So I'm not gonna I'm gonna kind of chime in a little bit here, ladies and gentlemen. So pretty much what this is saying, y'all can hear me, right? So pretty much what this is saying is that they are mad that they got rid of racism and discrimination. Yeah, they got rid of racism and discrimination because DEI programs are literally in there as a type of affirmative action. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people get pissed off because they don't see that on a subconscious level. They have no idea they are being completely pimped to think that those programs was there. So this is going to be like the one up for black people. This is going to be the one up for those that are of the inclusion, pretty much, right? Now, ODI's dissolution of the significant setback in the conservative war on D&I, endangering the creation of policies that will promote opportunity and uplift undeserved communities throughout the country. When you say undeserved communities, I hate when they say things like that, because what I like to say to people is, well, what can make those communities deserving? If you're saying they are undeserved, for example, I hate when people say this to me, here go another little quote, my little minister friends. When they say things like, y'all, we don't deserve what God did for us. If we don't deserve it, because how God is in his nature, if we didn't deserve it, he wouldn't do it. He did it because of the fact we did deserve it. You see what I'm saying? So when you say that these undeserving communities, what makes them undeserving? Huh? What makes them undeserving? Because if you ask me, when you try to come to me and tell me that these programs was made for those that are undeserving, you pretty much saying this is made for communities that are not intelligent, communities that are stupid, communities that are dumb, communities that are not smart enough to get these jobs and get into these programs based off of their own knowledge and intelligence. Yeah, that's pretty much what they're saying, folks. Get mad at me all you want to, get pissed. That's what they are saying. So because they're so unintelligent, because they're not smart enough, because they're not educated enough, we just gonna let them into these programs. Now, if they came out and said it just like that, how do y'all think people would take it? How do you think people would respond to that? They would be pissed off, wouldn't they? This is nothing more than another shape, form, or fashion of affirmative action. But the efforts to promote DEI programs also sparked backlash, especially from the right, members of whom argued that they have pushed a divisive left-wing agenda under the guise of advocating for inclusion. Rep. Alex Mooney, Republican of West Virginia, last year introduced a bill to abolish ODI, saying it promoted cultural Marxism in the workplace. Yes, it did. If you don't know what Marxism is, ladies and gentlemen, go read upon it, but I'll give you something briefly about it. Let's just say in today's world, Marxism pretty much is saying that equity needs to be thrown in there, which means you don't deserve it. You didn't work for it. You didn't have to do anything for it. But at the same time, those that are above you on a social economic level, you should be able to be equal with them, and they should be able to give it to you, just because everybody should all be on the same playing field. That's not how it works. That's not even how nature works. But this is what this Marxism, this new neo-Marxism, I want to call it, that's what they push. That's what makes CRT so bad, because they want to make it seem like that everything that's in our systems right now are only placed there to benefit white people. They were absolutely 100% only made to benefit white people. And because they were made to benefit white people, we need to introduce DEI or CRT and let them know that by having these programs in there saying that these things are all produced, made, ran by, done by, and only are supposed to benefit nothing more than white people, we need to put programs in there to bring more black people in here so we can make it even. No, they didn't deserve it. Notice they said undeserved. There it is. They didn't deserve it. They didn't earn it. They weren't smart enough for it. They weren't intelligent enough for it. They should just be able to be in these positions just so all of us can be equal on the same playing field. Don't believe what I said. For some of you, you don't know what CRT is. You don't go back and read it. I just gave you the most basic message I can give you. I don't need to use the big giant words because I'm going to use words that people that are watching this channel would understand. I'm going to say it in such a way that people that are watching this will be able to understand what I'm saying. Don't believe me? Go read Marxism, see what Karl Marx wanted to do. He wanted to throw out the bourgeoisie, or we just going to call them bougie. He wanted to pretty much say all the bougie people, the rich people, the ones with money, they should be able to give us their resources, give it to the farmers, give it to the poor people and all that, just so all of us can just be equal and have an equal shot. It doesn't work that way. You don't believe me? Look at lottery. Look how many people win a lottery and end up going broke. Your spending habits, your mentality, who you are does not change because you came into some money. So even that's what I'm saying. That's why I crushed the whole notion of folks trying to get reparations. Anyway, let me continue reading on. High-profile Republicans across the country similarly criticized DEI programs, turning it into a political weapon for the second straight election cycle in a row. Whenever you have something that looks like a significant advance, there will be pushback, Stovall told The Hill. When you think about what happened in 2020, race had not been discussed in the workplace that much since the civil rights movement. And of course, when you move the big rock in the United States, it always affects every other aspect of diversity there is. But Stovall said the effort to stifle DEI will only hurt corporate America. No, it won't. So she pointed out that when it comes to racial diversity, companies that don't practice racial diversity could alienate 30% of their talent pool. Black, Latino, Asian American women added make up 51% of that talent pool. Okay, so if you're saying that they make up 51% of that talent pool, but does that mean that those 51% in that talent pool are qualified for that job based off of their experience, their skills, their knowledge, or are they only there because that's the color of them? Keep moving on. There's no company that's going to make it and thrive in the world if you ignore essentially 80% of the talent pool, Stovall said. You run the risk of reducing your talent pool, the quality of your talent pool, and you run the risk of inhibiting your innovation. Though Black Americans make up slightly more than 13% of the country, well, I highly doubt that. I think we went down. I think we're at 12, honestly. That's me. Black Americans make up slightly more than 13% of the country's population, according to the latest U.S. Census Bureau data. Only 5.9% of all chief executives in the U.S. are Black. About 85% of all chief executives are white, according to 2021 data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Now, people like to take things like that right there and throw that at me a lot. They always try to do this. I've had interviews on the news, and here it is. They would try to come at me and say, well, why is it that, Black people only make up this small percentage of people that are CEOs and this, but then white people make up 85%. But then we'll turn around and say, look how many Black people are incarcerated. Okay. Not only that, when you say that these white people make up 85% of all these positions and Black people only make up this amount of those positions, can you be more specific in what those positions are? And whatever those positions are, how many Black people are even interested in those positions are we talking about? You can be the CEO of like a company that only has 500 employees. This is what I do. God bless Thomas Sowell for being able to actually instruct me with having a mindset into breaking down statistics like that. You just can't come at me and say, well, look at this. All these companies, these CEOs, all of the 85% are white and only this many are Black. What companies? Huh? What occupations are we talking about? And whatever those occupations are, how many Black people are actually in those occupations for you to say that? For I give you an example, medicine. There are not a lot of Black doctors. And when it comes to surgeons, there's less than 2%. I think it's 5% doctors are Black. And 2% of those doctors, out of that 5%, 2% of them are surgeons, right? Now, why aren't there more Black doctors? Well, because of diversity, equity, and inclusion needs to be installed in there so we can get more Black. No, because no matter what, Even though you did have these DEI programs instilled in there, black people still weren't trying to get into those fields. Well, when it comes to trying to be entrepreneurs and all this, when it tries to be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company dealing with business or dealing with stock market and all that, black people don't seem to be the ones. Why? Because you will see a pattern that black people are not interested in certain occupations. It has nothing to do with, well, that's because white. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do that when you go and you ask black people what their interests are, you're going to find a lot of it is not going to do with a lot of these dang on occupations they try to push out there, saying that white people in particular are dominating those fields. So this right here that I just got there presented to you, the whole DEI, the reason why I don't like that is because it's pity. It's pity. Oh, come on now. You know them Negro, you know those black people are not that smart. You know they're not. You know black people need all the help they can get. They didn't come out with the best foot. They had slavery. They had this. They had that. Just let them do it. Just let them be. Just put them in those positions. Hire them in there because they black. Come on now. Just get them in there. I will be insulted by that. If I'm not good enough for the job, but you only gave it to me out of pity because of the color of my skin, you are setting me up for failure. And that's exactly what's happening. People are being set up for failure. That's why when they get into these programs, they get into these schools, a lot of them fail. Some do good. Some, a very small number, do good with these affirmative action programs, with them just letting them into these programs because of the color of their skin. But they set them up for failure. And look how bad that looks. Look how many people that are in DEI positions that they got there because of the color of their skin, and they're doing an absolute terrible job. Mayor Lightfoot in Chicago, doing terrible. Not calling her DEI hire, but if the shoe fits, should call her anyway. Brandon Johnson, Mayor Eric Adams, Letitia James, Fonnie Willis, Tanya Henyard. A lot of these people are being put into this position because of the past 4-year climate. Oh, black people just crying about that. We can't get ahead. We can't do this. Why are we not that? And then the minute y'all get up there into these positions, look what's happening. Now, I'm not saying this is all black people. I'm talking about ones that's being hired in and been put into positions simply based off of their color. Look what happens when they get up there. Look what they do. They get used as pawns. And they get up there and they do such a poor job. It's terrible. They get up there and they still do black people wrong themselves. Why? Because they're still going to carry out the agenda of the elitists who have a program and a rhetoric that they want to push on folks. But now they can get black people in those positions. Why? Because if black people push that agenda on black people will have a hard time calling out the BS that black people are doing to them. Because why? We've been trained. Don't say nothing about no black man. Don't say nothing about that black woman. You shouldn't be talking about your own folks like that, Ty. Come on now. Fonnie doing, you shouldn't, that's a black woman, Ty. Why are you talking bad about her? You always saying something bad about the black. I'll say something bad about anybody that's doing something bad, period. But you're not about to use the excuse because she's black and I'm black and I shouldn't be saying nothing. She just stay off of it. She trying her best. No, she is not. She's doing exactly what the dang on elitists and the globalists are wanting her to do. Fonnie Willis wasn't even thinking about Trump until she went and visited the White House, and all of a sudden they wanted to use her to go after him. Letitia James, same exact way. You want to know why? Because the elitists know that if it was white people doing this, if it was white people going after Trump like this, oh, you can come at them all kind of different ways. But because there's a black folks up there doing this, gotta be a little careful. Gotta be a little careful. Gotta tread a little bit. Gotta tread a little bit. We don't want to ruffle any feathers. So I'm glad that a lot of these DEI programs are being shut down. I'm glad. When I went into medical school, y'all know what happened? You know what got you through schooling? Guess what got you through schooling? It was a color, all right. You know what that color was? It was black. Not as in race, but what was ink? That's what it was. Homework, typing up papers. Whenever the teacher them gave us a test to take, ink, circling answers. That's what mattered. You know what mattered to those teachers? Numbers mattered. Numbers matter. Percentages matter. Your color didn't. But God dang it, they would have it to where, oh, see, Ty, look, it ain't hardly nobody like y'all. Look, that's man. You should go out there. Look, let me tell y'all something. Y'all have no idea since I've even been out of school. You know how many black communities I have gone to? You know how many conventions I have spoken at? You know how many different things I have spoken at? encouraging black people to get into the medical field, encouraging black people to get into engineering and all this, the ones that we mentored and all that, try to help. You know how many people we've tried to help do that? I'm just telling y'all the truth. This has been at least, we've been married 23 years. Well, getting ready to be 23 years. I'll say at least 15 years of my wife and I advocating for black people to get into certain programs, signing them up, getting them internships just to go see if they like it. You know how many people actually went the route that I went? None. Nobody wanted to be a dang on therapist. Nobody wanted to be a doctor. Nobody wanted to be any. No. We tried to get them into engineering. None had an interest. Some say things like, I want to go into business. Some of them just wanted a degree. A degree to do what? So when I get that bachelor's degree, I can what? See what I'm saying? This is what they don't do. They don't get down to the nitty gritty of telling you all the dang on facts and statistics that goes into there when it comes to people interest. All they want to do is say, look, ain't no black people in Fortune 500. Ain't no black people in the share trade. There ain't no black CEOs over this company. Go get the paperwork and see if there's any that even apply. And if they did apply, look at the years of experience. Before I got into the position that I'm in right now, I applied. And you know what I was told? Man, you are terrific. You got great bedside patient manners. You are good with the employees. You are good at Ty. You help the employees you work with, your coworkers. They told us, like, they brag on you about how you help solve problems with them. The dang on morale when you are around is great. They said, but you have great clinical experience. They said, but when it comes to operations, they said you need to get a little bit more under your belt. I went back a whole full year to get more experience in that area of operations. I applied the next year. I got the job. I'm glad that they told me that everything looked great, but this is where you're weak at, Ty. If they would have told me, yeah, we need a black guy in here. We need a black guy being a director over multiple facilities. Get him in there. And if I would have got into that position, had no idea about operations, had no idea about scheduling, had no idea about sending patients up, sending doctors here, sending nurses there, getting all these people that get on contract and get into these multiple facilities. If I had no idea about doing that, I would have been losing the company money. And guess what would have happened? I would have lost my job because a company cares about one thing, that's green. Then guess what? If they would have let me go because of the fact I was not capitalizing, making money for them, the only reason why they fired me is because I'm black. This company racist. When I was sitting there, they didn't even treat me. Oh, absolutely not. But guess what? In social media and the dang on news and all that, CNN and all them, they're projected in a way. No, thank you. Anybody that's shutting down DEI programs, thank you. When I get resumes from people that want to come and work for our company, guess what I look at? Years of experience. If they got an expertise in geriatrics, if they got a specialties in neuro, if they got a specialties in dealing with prosthetics, if they got a special, if they specialize in heart surgery, if they specialize in stroke, if they specialize in putting in rods and pins in necks, if they specialize in doing, that's what we look at and how long they've been doing it. That's what we look at. I don't even really see any names. Well, you know what? The race of this person, they seem to be black. Let me go ahead and get some black people. Oh, well, wait. He just graduated school like 3 months ago, and he wants to come in and work at a top tier orthopedic center. Yeah, let's get him on just because he's black. Come on, man. No, absolutely not. So no, absolutely not. It's just a handout. People need to quit asking and crying about handouts. It doesn't work. All it does is harm them in the end. So that's it when it comes to that. So any companies, any place that is shutting down DEI type stuff, kudos to them. It doesn't need to be there. And you know what's really interesting about this, ladies and gentlemen? This is what's really interesting about this. Let me show y'all something. I'm gonna go back to that. I'm gonna go back to that screen. I'm gonna go back to this screen. Look who's screaming about it. Look who's screaming about it. And I'm getting ready to get done here, y'all. But look who's screaming about it. Negroes, where y'all at? I thought this is about y'all. Where y'all at? White people always behind. Whoa, diversity, the black people. Look what they're going through. Oh my God, this is just terrible. We need more color. If there's no color, there's no mothers. They just make up, they make up anything. The black people, they've struggled. Black people ain't even there with y'all doing this. You know how crazy that looks? I'm going to hire them in just because they're black. That's crazy. To me, that's racist right there. And you're being discriminative right there. If you are hiring somebody based off the color of their skin and not their skills, you are being discriminative. And you're not supposed to do that. No, it's upside down. We're not supposed to discriminate, but they want me to discriminate. My job knows me, and they know, a lot of them know what I do, and I'm careful with what I do. They know how I am, and they love it, because in the real world, I want to hire the best people to come and work for our company. I want to hire people that are great quality, people that are very skilled and very knowledgeable. Want to know why? Because our company is about capitalizing, and we do well. I'll be darned if I hire somebody in there that don't know what they're doing, don't know anything, and no, absolutely not. Just hire them because they black, man. No, absolutely not. Anyway, y'all, don't forget before y'all get out of here to hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. I really, really would like it if y'all would hit that like button. I appreciate all of you taking your time out of your day to chime in. And before I get out of here, Double Brewski, I'm going to read off the super chat. It says, happy trans. Oh, you already read that one. Deadly Raver, I appreciate the $5 super chat. I read that one too. Double Brewski, I read that one off to you too. Appreciate you again for the $2 super chat. Double Brewski again with the $5 super chat said, has anyone ever heard of Genital Mutilation Day before 2024? Allegedly, it's been a thing since 2009, but has anyone ever really heard of it before? Nope. The only reason why we heard about it is because they just so happened to announce it on Easter. That's it. That's it, Double. Anyway, again, y'all, make sure y'all hit that like button before y'all get out of here. I really appreciate you guys all being here. Y'all know how I end all my shows, and I really do mean it when I say this. I am Ty Smith, model Renaissance man, and I hope and pray every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus. What's going on, everybody? So, hey, check this out. I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to view these videos. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel.